Hey everybody, John Falskow here. I want to talk through Project 1 and sort of walk through with you and get you used to using the Soundtrap tool a little bit more. So here we go. Project 1 has these requirements. 4 tracks, change the tempo, apply volume adjustments, split tracks, couple volume automations, and then be able to share out your project. So I'll try to get a few of these things accomplished here in this video, and I might do a second video. For this first week, I really suggest you just use loops to create your music. Loops, remember, they're this prefab little chunks of sound, and you can chain them together and it'll repeat and repeat and repeat, hence the name loop. It keeps going over and over, and they're just really convenient ways to get started playing with sound. So I'm in an empty Soundtrack project, and there's a couple ways I can browse loops. I can either click this sort of ghosted out browse loops area, or in the upper right corner I can click on the purple music notes. This opens on the right side what we call the loop browser. In my simpleton mind, the way that a lot of pop music works is you need 3 ingredients: drums, bass, and something that ain't drums or bass. If you just have drums, it could work. It also could be a hot mess. If you have drums and you like bass, you like the thump, thump, thump of bass, but you have drums, bass, it can get just to be a muddy mess. So I say drums, bass, something else that's not drums or bass. Could be flute, could be voice, could be piano, could be a lot of different things. So let's try this out and see what we can get. I'm going to start with drums then, and I'm just going to cruise this. I'm just going to go down here. Let's see. Let's try a drum and bass thing, D and B. That's pretty cool. No. I'm going to go back to this first one. Yeah, I'm going to add that in. So there we go. It's in the project now. Cool. A couple of things since I added this in that I want to point out. Notice this purple bar. What that's going to do is, as your project plays, when it gets to the end here, when it gets to the end of that purple bar, it's going to jump back to the beginning. It's called, not to confuse the issue, but it's called looping, and it allows us to sort of hear something over and over again and really work on it and refine it. You can activate and deactivate that with this button here. So you can select it or deselect it to make it go. The other way you can do it is just to click and activate or deactivate. You can also shrink the size of it or increase the size of it. It kind of defaults to a logical thing. So there's my drum pattern. By the way, a keyboard shortcut that's really common in audio is that the space bar plays. So I'll hit the space bar and I'll hit space bar again and it stops it. If I hit return twice, it rewinds the cursor back to the beginning of the song, so I can just start it from the beginning. All right, let's add some bass into this. I'll go to bass and let's see what we got. Ooh, what was that? I saw some OSC. Let's see what these are. If I like the echo on it, I'm gonna not do that. So let's go back and just cruise through some bass stuff. Let's see. Let's try that. See what that sounds like. Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Let's keep that, and let's add something else. So I said drums, bass, and now something that's not drums or bass. So some suggestions I threw out there were like piano or flute. So let's just go ahead, instead of clicking on buttons, let's just type in piano and see what comes up. I'm curious. Let's try it. Excuse me. Let's try it one more time. clicked the wrong thing, sorry. Now it should repeat. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to delete this track that I accidentally created. Whoops, not duplicate, delete. Let's try that again. Let's delete this one too. I'm going to go ahead and save this right now because I'm liking what's going on. So I'm going to hit save. And I guess it gave it a default name of Untitled Song. Let's fix that. We'll call it Week 1 Mellow. Cool. So I'm going to add one more sound so I have my 4 tracks. And I'm going to add some voice here.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah, boo-boo. Shush! Watch me now.
Okay, I'm going to do Watch Me Now. So let me add that
What?
in. Okay, and that's it. So notice that it's a really, really small sound here. And let's hear what this sounds like. Whoops. Excuse me. Delete that. Delete that. All right, let's see what happens here.
Watch me now.
Cool. So what I've done now is I've input 4 tracks, okay, and that's really kind of the first big step there. Let's talk about changing the tempo of your project. In your project, the tempo is found down here, and it's clearly marked. Whoops, tempo. The number, you can think of it like miles per hour. The bigger the number, the faster the music goes. The lower the number, the slower it goes. So let's just try something. Let's click and make this faster. Let's go, I'm going to make it significantly faster. I'm going to go like 149, sure. So it was 120, right? So let's hear what this does. What I'm going to do is I am going to adjust the audio data, which means it's going to speed up or slow down everything I put in so it fits the tempo. So let's adjust it. You want to do that because that's the whole point, is to try to make it more fast in this case.
Watch me now.
So you can hear it's going a lot faster. Let's try going the opposite way. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down to like 66, okay? And I'll confirm, and again, I'll adjust it. You notice that the timeline shrinks or stretches because it's speeding up or slowing down. You can also zoom in or out using those little keys. I do that quite a bit just because I'm finicky about what I see on my screen. So let's hear what this sounds like, slow.
Watch me now.
So I'm not too wild about that. I actually like it fast. So I want it to be kind of like a drum and bass, like fast, sort of glitchy drums. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up even more. I'm going to make it 150. And let's adjust that and see what's up. Let's see what this sounds like now. Here we go.
Watch me now.
There we go. So now I've got things cooking along, and I'm liking the way this is developing. Okay, I'm going to now show you real quickly how to apply volume adjustments. Okay, volume is how loud something is. You play with this all the time on your stereo or whatever media device you're listening to music. You turn it up so it's louder, turn it down so it's softer. On your computer, there's a few ways you can do that. You can usually, like, your computer keyboard has a volume up, volume down. Sometimes your headphones will have a volume up, volume down on it. But in this software app, there's also volume up, volume down. And the master volume is here. That should be what comes out your speakers. It's this slider that you can move. Let's hear what it sounds like when I turn it down. Can't really hear it.
Watch me now.
You can hear I can crank it up, right? And that's the volume that's coming out of the speaker. The other thing that you have on every single track is a volume knob. This volume knob only controls the volume of that area, that region. So right now, if I crank up the drums, and I just click and drag up, and I'm going to max it out just to make my point, the drums should stick out because they're louder. They're going to sound louder than anything else. So let's hear what this sounds like. So I don't know if you can tell too well on this recording, but the drums are sticking out. Let's bring the bass down and the piano down and the voice down, and you'll even hear this more. So you hear the drums sticking out for sure, yeah. So let's balance this a little bit better. I'll tuck the drums down, bring up the bass, bring up the piano. Definitely bring up the voice. I want that to be stronger. So let's try it with that. Might be a little strong. Let's try it. I'm using the return key on my typing keyboard to sort of rewind real quickly. Yeah, that could work. Cool. So I'm sorry this video is going on a little bit too long. I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll do another one for some other stuff. But what we've done in this little video, we created 4 tracks with my little recipe: drums, bass, and something that's not drums or bass. And for me, I used like that piano sound and the voice sound, and the drums and bass are their own thing. We changed the tempo. We heard what it sounded like, faster or slower. We just did some volume adjustments. So what I'll do in our next video is I will show you how to split tracks and give you some ideas about playing with the concept of texture in music. And we'll finish it up by showing you how to do some animations. Cool? All right, have fun.